Okay, he even buttons his own shirts. Okay, that's the big one. Ray, you need to button your own shirts, and you need to color code them.
Cindy's getting excited
Yeah,
about
I was
I
Chief
just
do.
saying how
I love a neat
his
closet.
closet
Call
is
me
neat.
She's
So
OCD.
getting
yeah, right.
That
excited.
that's how a closet should be lined up.
Right,
Color
All right, let me
Cindy?
show
coded,
my closet.
To
color
be doing
coded,
it for my
black,
husband.
blue, then light blue,
Hmm.
then off the light colors. Yes.
Grant, you
And
see
then the
that you
neighbors
see that
come
toy I
back
got
and
in
mess
there,
it all
Grant?
up.
You see that toy I got in there, Grant?
Do I see what?
This is my toy
Oh,
right
here
here.
comes Fifi.
Let me see what you got, bro.
No, I ain't gonna show it on camera.
I got him in every room, bro.
Yo, TC, get that out your mouth.
I like that safe. Nice safe.
You don't keep a safe in your master closet. Period. That's the
You do
first place
not?
the safe
Cindy, is
goes
that
to,
color corded nice for
Why?
you?
Why not? Why not? Why not,
Is
Cindy?
that okay,
because
Cindy?
that's where thieves will automatically
That's
go
the
is to the
first place
master.
they go.
They
Are
go
we
to the
Are
master.
we recording right now? Are we still recording?
Yeah,
Cindy, is
guys.
that color
Welcome back
corded
to the
properly?
podcast,
Cindy,
guys. One mic,
Cindy,
please.
if the thieves know,
There you go.
if they're coming to
Not
the
a big
house, they know
screen.
all the spots.
And usually the first place they go is to the what?
Y'all
There's
see the
blue,
video?
black.
I still
Well,
call it a master bedroom,
well,
but okay.
the good
I'm
news
not
is the good news.
Nobody knows what y'all talking about if y'all recording right now.
One mic, guys. One mic, guys. We're about to. Yeah, we're still doing the podcast. So yeah, guys. Let's keep this thing moving.
The
Guys,
good
we
news
got.
is thieves, for the most part, aren't killers, and sometimes the homes they go to are.
Grant, I have the video with Trump and Iran.
Yeah, do it. I'm unhappy to do it, but I really have not so much choice because we have to be strong and firm, and I hope that it's not going to have to be used in any great measure at all. It'd be great if we could have a Middle East and maybe a world at total peace. We don't want to be tough on Iran. We don't want to be tough on anybody, but they just can't have a nuclear weapon.
Mr. President, you guys engage in conversations with your counterpart in Iran?
I would.
And why, Cindy, you're unhappy to sign it if it's Iran and their proxies who threaten to retaliate against you and your team by killing you guys for taking out Soleimani?
Well, they haven't done that, and that would be a terrible thing for them to do. Not because of me. If they did that, they would be obliterated. That would be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. And they shouldn't be able to do it. And Biden should have said that, but he never did. I don't know why, lack of intelligence, perhaps. But he never said it.
Mr. President, when you said if they do it, they get obliterated. Just to be clear, you're talking about if Iran made an attempt on your life.
Yeah, that would be called total obliteration.
The opportunity.
All right. I don't hear anything. You guys hear anything?
No.
Nope.
Y'all didn't hear any of the video?
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just cut off. It seemed like in the middle of a
No, that
sentence.
was it.
We heard it all.
Chuck.
Thank you.
All right, so Grant, go. You asked for the video. We played it. Now what?
Trump is a beast.
Okay.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I wouldn't disagree with you on that. He is a beast.
Jonathan, being diplomatic.
Beast like 666. Don't you guys got
But
another topic in the
All right.
byline?
So
Who's
anyway,
Rodney?
did y'all hear that
Go ahead.
that Trump said that all purchases of Iranian oil or petrochemical products must stop now? He said any country or person who buys those products from Iran will not be able to do business with the United States in any way, shape, or form.
Well, that's Russia and China. That's Russia and
Okay.
China.
And for the
So
first time, probably,
Azerbaijan and
in American history, the man stopped a military conflict in a press conference. He was like, "You hear that, little Marco? No more attacks on Houthis, okay? Make sure everybody knows. He said it in the press conference. That was great. That was boss right there, man. It's like, Marco, make sure they get the word. No more attacks on the Houthis right now. That's crazy. Y'all didn't
I
catch
was
Iran,
that?
that.
Iran,
But
Am I the only one that caught that?
Iran has been selling oil in black market. U.S. cannot be able to stop Iran from selling oil in the black market. So there's nothing new there.
Listen, 90% of Iran's oil is purchased by China. All right. They tried to fuck around one time and sell it to China through, I think it was the Philippines, but we're onto that now. So then this sanction against Iran, or this what do you want to call it? Putting it out there that no one can buy it. It's really a wag at China. Okay, and we can track this. It's not rocket science. You know, China has been funding Iran by purchasing their oil.
So what you gonna
We're
do
not,
about that? Can't do nothing about
I'm
that.
not going to do shit. Our fucking government is,
Can't do nothing about it, bro.
dude. Well, you know what? I'm glad you're not in charge, Joe Biden. What the fuck you talking about?
Just
That's
talk
why you guys aren't in
intelligently. If you
charge
know how.
anymore. That's why you guys are not in charge anymore.
So I just asked you what you gonna do about it.
Andrew, you know something, Andrew? Um,
I'm serious.
I can appreciate your passion, but you always speak about others' passion, and that was the first passion and passionate display that we had all night. And no one, and it wasn't anyone doing it to you; it was you doing it to someone else. I just want to put that out there. I want you to be mindful that if
No,
you get that same energy back, I don't want you to respond
I'm
and
not
feel
worried
like
about it.
you're being
I'm
singled
not worried
out.
about it.
Okay,
Guys,
so that's
Iran cannot get a nuclear weapon. I'll tell you why. It's because the doctrine of mutually assured destruction does not apply to them. They don't care if you hit them back with the nuke and wipe them out. They don't care. They just want to kill them, some Jews and Americans and anyone else who they deem as an infidel. They don't care. They
Do
will
you
just
do you
hit it.
know
And if
the
they can make one, they can make 100. And they have intercontinental ballistic missiles. They're psychopaths.
do you know the population of Iranians that are Jews? The percentage? You have an idea?
Man, I'm not going to go. You don't know the percentage of Jews that are Iran. No, why the fuck would I know that off the top of my head? Come
Okay,
on,
so
man.
research it and come back. Research it and get ready and come back
Percentage of
for the
Iran is
conversation.
Jewish.
You're not ready yet.
That was good, Sir Jude. You're not ready yet. That was good.
Yeah, there we go. It's
That was
very high.
good, Sir Jude.
It's 0.01% of
Yeah.
Iran's 91 million people. How about that? So, what is your point?
That's just in Iran. He's talking about around the world.
But it made it, Sir Jude made it sound like Iran absolutely loves Israel, which is not
Yeah,
the case,
it's not the
right?
case at all. I
So
want to
I
know
don't
what his point
understand.
was.
Yeah.
That's why I
I
asked him.
agree
Does
with
he know
Andrew,
how many Jews?
actually.
Does he know how many Jews are in Iran? 0.01%, bro. So maybe you're the one who's not ready to have this conversation. Just throwing that out there, Mr. Harvard.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
well. Anyway, guys, moving
Yeah,
right
exactly.
along.
They cannot get a nuke.
How do you vote? How do you rate this room tonight? This conversation tonight, Jonathan, on a scale from 1 to 10.
A six, a
Yeah,
four,
content. Give it a 6,
6 to 4 to 6, 4. But I'll say 4.
maybe even lower.
Yeah.
Lower than a 6.
hmm
Yeah, yeah. You know why?
I've been
Because
saying
I
that.
hadn't given a dateline yet.
No,
Why?
No.
because we let the Canadians talk too long. They dragged the fucking
There you go. Where's Nelson to say that?
Canadian taxes, dude.
Hey, you know
It's a
what? We won't
fact.
say anything for a week, and you'll see how this goes.
It'll
Okay,
be
for a
fine.
week.
It'll be
I'm going
fine.
on
I
strike
was
now.
hoping. I was
I'm not
hoping
saying
McKee was
anything
here.
anymore. That's it. I'm so insulted, Grant. I'm not saying anything for a week. I'm on strike. Okay,
Oh,
and I'll
don't
end
Straight
with
from the
that.
don't punish
heavens.
me like that, dude.
It's
Oh
your
my
fault,
gosh,
Grant, if I'm not talking anymore. Okay.
my life is so fucked up now.
All right.
I'm
So
just
is
sorry that
mine. So is mine. You screwed my whole life up.
I'm sorry that Mickey wasn't in the room tonight to hear the Martha Stewart interview. Because I'm glad you found that, Jonathan. That was fair playing that. Thank you.
No, no, of course.
Nobody
But
should act like a slave.
moving on, Grant. I want to go to this Rodney Hinton Jr. I
Nobody's brought up Rodney but you all night.
I'm about to bring him up now.
Nobody gives a shit about
Yeah,
Rodney.
yeah, yeah. I know, but we're gonna talk about it then move on. Uh,
By the way, can I just
man.
say, if I can just say, guys, if you're listening in your car right now, or at home, or at work, and you're listening to this on a podcast, you should be in this room at night, chopping it up with Jonathan Bing, myself, and many others. No telling what can happen in these rooms on any night. Okay, most of these nights are like 10s and 11s and 12s. Yeah, tonight was a weaker show, but again, we tried to give a voice to our friends to the north. It didn't work out. We'll pivot in the future. The shows will get better, and by you coming in here by downloading the Chatter app, and it's free, by the way, it costs you nothing to do it. Actually, costs you something if you don't, because we give away prizes, seats to events, money, Bitcoin. It's all given away right here in the Chatter room. So make sure you download the app.
Oh, why? All right, guys. So those views expressed by the speakers are not
Yeah, I'm the one
necessary
that
here.
gives everything
But
away, by the way.
guys, here's the deal, guys. There was a man arrested for killing a police officer. All right, and what happened was the man had a son that was killed by a police officer. All right, he went in, he watched the video of his son being killed by the police officer. They had a meeting. He immediately left that meeting and he went and killed a police officer in revenge for killing his son. He was promptly arrested, and um, well, that's what I want to talk about today. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with this case.
I'm
Um,
familiar with
I
it.
one second. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with this case, but it's making world news. It's making world news for the fact that someone killed a police officer in revenge of killing their child. So, I feel very strongly about this, the way I feel. But I want to open this up and I want to hear how you guys feel about it. The floor is open. What are your thoughts on this case? Those that's familiar with it, and what do you think um, should be the outcome?
I'm familiar with it.
Just
Hello?
go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, what would you do if that was your son? Do you have a
I
son?
wouldn't. I wouldn't have done what he did.
Take your muffle off, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
something's wrong with your mouth. I wouldn't have done what he did.
Well, what would you have done?
What?
Who's that?
Are you asking Grant? Are you asking me what I have done?
Yo, whoever that is that's speaking, your microphone. I don't know what's going on with your microphone. It's horrible.
Or you got something in your mouth.
Maybe take headphones off if you have crappy ones.
Yeah.
You know, Jonathan, what changed this one for me is I didn't realize he didn't kill one of the policemen that could have been the one who killed his son. That it was just some random cop he saw at an intersection. He was directing traffic.
But Leah, you were championing this guy at
No,
first.
no, 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 no. I'm not doing that. I'm saying
Yeah,
I
but
I
you
can.
were initially. Initially,
No,
you
just
were.
listen. Listen, listen. What I'm saying is I can see both sides because if somebody hurt my small child, I could definitely see the revenge and everything like that. This is a little different because of the gun and the kid's older and all those things. So I get it, but I'm just saying I get the sentiment, even though he didn't do the right thing at all.
Okay. Anyone else has anything else they want to add to this? Because
I would,
good. Good, man.
Jonathan, I came from Clubhouse just to talk to you because I feel like you can't say what a person's state of mind would be when you kill a person's child. Was it right for him to do that? Kill the police officer? No. But how many times have they shot black people down in the street? That boy back was turned when they shot him. Was it right for the father to do that? No. I have one son. And if somebody killed my one son, I don't know what I would do. That man had nothing else to live for. If you looked at the video in the courtroom, they had 30 officers in there to intimidate him and he still held his head high and he was not intimidated. That man has nothing else to live for.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for coming to Clubhouse with the answer. Anyone else wants to jump
Why,
in?
why didn't he have on a bulletproof vest?
He was directing traffic
Jonathan.
for a graduation. The
No, I'm saying why did the individual that was in court not have on a bulletproof vest?
Huh?
nobody got
What?
killed in the courtroom.
I know that, but they put bulletproof vests on other people, right?
All right.
That's an interesting observation.
Guys,
Not when they're
listen.
in the courtroom, to God. I mean,
Yes, yes.
in the courtroom, you cannot have weapons.
Luigi Mangione had a vest on in court.
Storm, how do you feel about that, Storm?
I don't know enough about it to feel a certain way. I
Right.
just know that people killing people is wrong. That's all I got to say.
But
You
did
can't
he
police how somebody gonna react if you kill somebody's child.
did he
You
hit him
can't
with
tell
his
somebody how to
car?
react.
How did he kill him?
Well, are we justifying that he
I didn't
murdered
say I was
himself?
justifying anything. I'm saying you can't police
Sounds
how
like it.
somebody's gonna react.
Wait,
You
but
kill
what are you
somebody's
talking about?
child, you kill somebody's brother, you kill somebody's grandfather, you
That
kill
police
somebody's
officer didn't kill
family. You
anybody.
can't say how somebody's gonna react.
Bro, he didn't.
Well,
That
why
police officer
wasn't he
didn't kill
policing
anybody.
his son when his son was out there stealing cars and running from cops?
Thank
Why are
Hey,
we
you.
justifying
that's
this?
neither here nor there.
That
Oh,
is
it's
here nor
there.
there. Where was
Bro,
he
No, it's
showing
not.
up as a father when his son was
unbelievable.
in the
It's there. You
streets?
just choose to ignore it.
Why was the kid shot in the back?
But does it make it right?
Jedi, I see your comment. Trump had nothing to do with this. We're talking about a guy that killed a police officer who had nothing to do with his own son being shot, who, by the way, had stolen an automobile and got chased. What are you talking about, dude?
Stealing an automobile does not mean a death sentence.
Man,
There's nowhere in the statute
okay,
that it says that you get a death
that cop
sentence
did
for
not
stealing an
shoot
automobile.
anybody.
There's nowhere in the statute that says the
Then he
consequence
should
of
have hunted
stealing an
that.
automobile is a death sentence. Nowhere in the statute.
I love that you think it's okay that this happened.
Where
That's
did I
fine.
say
It
that?
just
Where did I
note
say
to
that?
self. No,
I
you don't
love
have
the
a
fact that you
problem
think
with it.
there's.
You want to
I,
justify it.
no, you want to justify the
Well,
fact that this
listen.
young kid just got
Well,
shot in the
listen.
back. That's what you want to
This,
justify.
if you let's call this thing what it is. Okay. First of all, my condolences to the family of the officer that got killed. Okay. What happened here? And I'm surprised that people are condemning it with such ferocity. But when it happened in a different context, people don't see it. What the man did here was his sons got killed and he picked a herd. We know that's what happened, okay? That's the word out there in the street for it. He picked a herd, a police officer killed his son, and he picked a herd out of a police officer. And we have seen this happen in different instances. When somebody of a different constriction, of a different markup, commits a crime or does something wrong, and the police will go up in a rampage and pick a herd. They take it out on whoever that they out on. We see that happening. So I'm saying, if we are condemning this guy for picking a herd, when such a thing happens, also let's just condemn it with the same moral clarity. I'm done.
The word is a herb, just for the record. The word is a herb. Herb.
I believe that this guy was wrong. and there's no and had he killed the same officer that killed his child, I would call the guy a hero. All right, and I would have called him a hero. But to go out there and kill a random police officer, uh, just because his child was killed, and I'm sorry, there's nothing heroic about that. And
I think that
go ahead.
I think the police killed a random kid. You know, he was running and he pulled his gun and he shot him in his back. Uh, for some reason, we always get the professionals. You know, the people that's trained, right, to make those split second decisions. We always give them the leniency. And now, the father, in response to something that happens to him, something that he continuously sees on TV from Eric Gardner, from Fidel Castro, from uh, Trayvon Martin, from so on and so on. You see it time and time again, right? And we minimize
Is it me or are we losing?
kid to be shot in his
Lost you,
back.
Ray. We
Yeah, we
lost
Without
you.
that
lost.
He's back.
happening,
He's
the
back.
cop would never got shot.
I mean, what do you mean random kid? Didn't he have a gun? Wasn't he armed
Yes.
robbery?
That's
Didn't the
correct.
cop didn't the
Did he
cop
have a
think
gun? He
he
had a gun.
didn't the
Yes.
They
didn't
found
the
a gun
wait
at this.
good
Hold on.
lord, wait a second.
Sorry, Daniel.
Didn't the cop think that they were pointing the he was pointing the gun at him? Like, what are you guys talking about? Random kid. I would be infuriated if that was my random kid. What are you talking about?
You saying they found a gun on him?
He had a
Correct.
gun.
Or almost.
Yes.
Not on. Okay, so police reported that Ryan Hamilton was holding a semi-automatic handgun, and the officer who fired claimed Hinton pointed at him. Though the body camera footage is blurry and does not clearly show Hinton pointing a gun, a handgun was recovered at the scene, and another gun was found in the stolen vehicle. There's no evidence Hinton fired at police.
I don't
I
believe it. I think those guns were planted.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not impressed by that.
And
The
that's what I was
police
gonna say.
report.
How do we know
Is the
he's
has the body cam footage?
Thank God that the Matrix got Marty ass.
I got a
Nah,
question.
it ain't
Marty
get.
jumped off of some. He about to jump off some coon shit, and Matrix got him.
No, I just all I asked was, has the body cam footage been released?
Um, put it this way: after
Not
the
to the public.
father, put it this way, the father did not go exact revenge until after he went and saw the body camera. They allowed him to see the body cam footage, and once he saw the body cam footage, he left and went and killed a police officer. So obviously, something on that body cam triggered something and told him that he, made him feel like he needed to go get revenge for his kid. So let's start there. Secondly, if the body cam footage doesn't show the gun, okay, but the police are saying, oh, it's a gun, but the body cam footage doesn't show it because it's wasn't clear or whatever. I'm sorry, I have a hard time with that. All right, so um, once again, if he would have went out and killed the police officer that killed this son, I was like, oh damn, the guy's a hero. He's still on something. This guy went and killed a random person, had nothing to do with anything, and I think he deserves to get everything that he gets. That's where I stand. I land.
I don't know what state of mind. He might have not been in the right state of mind. He might have had temporary insanity. Somebody just killed his kid.
He literally watched the video, left from where he watched it alone, and then drove and did it. I mean, it's clearly high emotions. I would definitely agree with you on the state of mind. I mean, shit, he just watched his kid got murdered, killed, whatever you want to say, till the evidence comes out. But I mean, when you guys immediately went to, oh, the gun was planted, the cops just like carry stolen weapons in their car, just waiting and just in case.
Yeah, they
Yes, they
do.
do.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
Do
they
do.
do.
you
As
realize
Yeah,
a
how
matter of
Yes, yes,
fact,
What?
yes.
And
yes,
where's
they
do
the
you
do.
proof of this?
do
Yes,
you
they do.
realize do you
Hey
have you
Scott, I'm sorry, bro, but they actually do.
I didn't know. I mean, they carry in their patrol cars. stolen guns ready just to plant just in case.
We're not
Yes.
speaking now,
Yes.
Scott. Let's keep it real clear now. We're not. I'm not in any way, shape, or form implying that all of them or even majority of them do. But it is a thing, and it does happen on a regular, daily basis. Let's put it
The
that way.
fact the fact that
Hey, one
you have
second, and
several
even
the fact
even
that
if
you
the
have several
cop that shot, one second, the cop, even if the cop that shot him didn't have one of the other cops did, and they pulled it out, and they're like, "Yo," to save their brother in arms.
the fact
Good,
that
Don't
Ray.
the
everyone
cops
the
have the
fact
body cameras going the whole time when you see this?
No.
I think
Go
Ray
ahead,
was speaking
Ray.
on Clubhouse.
Go
Sorry.
ahead, Ray.
No, I was just saying, just the fact that you hear all these people on stage, right? And they're from different areas all over the country, and they're all basically saying the same thing. That should just your antennas should go up, right? This isn't something that's isolated. It's uniform, and it's not across the board, but it is happening, right? Consistently enough that you have people that probably never even met each other, been around each other, but sharing the same experience, not probably directly, but inside of their community, inside of their family, friends, or whatever the case may be. And you sitting here saying, "Do you think they just carry guns around and just oh, let me just pull this out like it's a handkerchief?" Yes, it happens. Unfortunately, it does. Police officers around the country built their career off of cases, planting guns, and doing stuff like that. You see it all the time. You see crackdowns all the time with bad officers.
What is all the time?
When it's happening,
Put it this way, even
no,
Marty
no,
stopped doing this Al Jolson dance and said, "Yes, it does happen."
Doesn't mean I have to agree with Marty. I just have
No,
never
but no,
heard of a
Scott.
police officer being arrested with a stolen gun.
No, Scott,
um,
it's not about the police officer being arrested with a stolen gun because let's be honest, how often are police officers just arrested in the middle of the day and their cruisers searched? This is not one of those things. But remember, when this conversation happens, and I'm just because I'm driving, I'm gonna keep it real short. Circle back to the same conversation about CIA planning crack. It's one of those things that when you first hear it, it's gonna make your brain say, "What the hell? Absolutely not." But then when you take a second, like the brother just said, so many people sharing the same experience and saying the same thing, it's like, hold up, okay, maybe it does. And you said something about the body cam. Police officers, now, once again, I'm not speaking for all, but they do have the option and the ability to shut off at any time, mute at any time, and these things. It's not like there are some that cut on automatically when certain things happen, or like when a traffic stop is initiated, but the officer himself still has the ability to shut it off or mute it at any time.
Did anyone live in Cincinnati during the riots? So
Yes.
who said
They
yes?
had better microphones back then.
Okay.
Todd, your mic is, yeah.
I'm trying to imagine in my head where I'm sure it was a police chase, so I would imagine more than one cruiser. Imagine 5, 6 cops around. I don't know. I haven't heard all the details, but how all of them could say, "Hey, shut your body cameras off. It's gun planting time." Like this has to be on footage. And like, who keeps the gun? Is it all like I don't know. I've just never heard of in recent times like this happening or being like it seems like the kid's fingerprints would be on it. Like I don't know, but maybe I'm not saying it doesn't happen. You're just kind of enlightening me. Like I didn't realize that this happens as much as I guess it's not being found out.
Because when you ask
no,
about
no,
the
no, 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 no.
report and finding out
It's
about,
not
think
even being
about
found.
how does that happen, right? A gun gets planted on somebody, and how do you go about proving that that gun was planted? Depending on the case, depending on the situation, God forbid the person is dead, their family or the person that they're related to, they didn't pursue the investigation, this, that, and the third. I mean, just understand, once again, nobody's saying it's happening insanely inflated everywhere today, every single second of the day, but just the more you pry on how can it possibly happen around these body cams and all these cameras, just remember many things are planted that video evidence exists of today on body cam that when it was happening the police officer knew they were on body cam but still did it. And this is on many different occasions. So I don't know what it is about them thinking that it'll just get erased somewhere down the line or whatever the case may be. But just don't hang it on it has to be on camera because of all these body cams and cameras. That's all I'm trying to say.
Can I say?
Literally Google,
Can I jump
literally
in here real
Google
quick?
cop plants gun and car. Literally Googled it, right? First case that comes up. NYC pays 1.5 million to man shot by police after he alleges cops planted a gun at the scene. This is in 2019. It's just it forms with
Yeah,
cases. Usually
there's
go
corrupt
through
people in
case
every
after case
profession.
after case.
Oh, and Scott, and before that lady goes,
It's
I'm sorry, I'm
happening. It's
sorry.
happening. It's
Don't
happening.
nobody was
And it's
saying.
been
I'm not
happening.
saying this case was a gun planted. I just wanted to say that to Scott. I'm not saying
No, I
that
get
that's
that.
this case.
I
Okay.
just did. I'm like, and I don't know. I just kind of was blown away that everybody's
They
Scott,
had
acting
movies.
Let
They
that
had
lady
conservative.
movies
jump
where
in.
they joked
Hold
Okay,
on.
about.
I'm
Let the lady
sorry.
jump in.
This is
Okay.
something
You
that's
know
so
the crazy.
ingrained in the culture
Hold on, the
that they
guy, the
had
guy. Hold on,
movies where
hold on,
they
hold on, the
joked
guy.
about cops planting guns.
The crazy thing is that I cannot believe that you say that you didn't know this. There's a lot of times that you see that we as people, everybody has to protest in order for the body cams to come out because they hide the damn body cams. It doesn't, if the only way they get caught is because we keep pushing the envelope when somebody gets killed, that we want to see the body cam and we have to write letters and we have to march sometimes, or we have to keep screaming loud. I can't believe that you say that you don't know this goes on, because it does. They don't always release the body cam. It's not, it's hidden. If nobody's there to see it or to speak up to say, hey, we saw that, we got this on tape, we got this on film, they don't release them damn body cams.
You have to
Scott,
make a formal
Scott.
request depending on the case or depending on the situation. And even if it is a case, you still have to make a request and wait for it to be approved. And a lot of times, when you're watching stories online on certain things, you'll hear them say how they waited to post this video because they had to wait for the body cam footage to be released to them, and this, that, and the third. And sometimes it just doesn't. If they decide not to, they can literally decide not to run you up and down through court and still not give it to you. So yeah, it's just it's one of those things that you just have to understand that hey, there that possibility does lie, and yeah,
You got to place it
Scott.
back into context, though. The guy
One second, one second, one
viewed the
second, one second.
footage.
The guy. Walter Scott. I don't know if you guys remember that. He is a guy that's pulled over in a Mercedes. I think he had like suspended license. He got out. He ran. He couldn't even run. Guy really couldn't even run. It's funny. It's almost funny to watch him try to run.
yeah,
And the cop,
he was the big guy.
yeah, the cop shot him, and then he didn't know. The cop didn't realize that some guy was filming on with a cell phone, shot him, and then as he shot him, he went and planted a weapon on him, and it was all caught on the cell phone. Okay, and Michael Slanger or something like that was the cop's name, and he went to jail for murder. It was murder. So if you don't look up Michael Slanger and Walter Scott, that's a clear. They have it on video.
Yeah,
The
that's less
cop.
than 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago. No, it was 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago. I just looked it up just now as I was speaking. April 4th. All
Wow,
right.
exactly 10 years.
Yep. So, so if you look that up, you'll see that guy running, and then the cop shooting him down. Okay, and then putting a weapon beside him and saying that he had a weapon on him. All right, and before that happened, he was labeled as someone that ran, had a weapon, and all this other stuff. And and it was like they were going to the cop was just sweeping it away. But once the video came out, it showed what happened. It is indisputable. So that's all. If everyone, Marty's down south, Ray's up in North in Jersey, and a whole bunch of other people all over the place jumped in and said, "Yeah, it does happen." People don't make that shit up. The shit's real.
Would you believe what a university study said if I read it to you? Based on the Bowling Green
Oh my
study,
god. That
1 to 2%. Oh, let me hold on. Here it is right here. A 2016 study by Bowling Green State University found about 1,100 police officers arrest per year for various crimes, including planting evidence with the number holding steady in later years. However, this includes all offenses, not just planting weapons. The study noted that 6,720. Okay, so the
Right,
rest.
that's evidence police don't get arrested when they commit crimes.
Right, but 1,100.
Right, because police don't arrest other police.
That's
Don't
how
they
many
have?
got caught. That's how many got caught, prosecuted. Okay, that's not how many got caught. That's how many got prosecuted. First of all,
Hey,
No, no,
Barth,
that's not
Barth
true.
is smoking y'all. That's
That is
because
not true.
Mississippi's education is beating New York and California now. Get
That's
them,
not how
Barth.
many got caught. That's estimates. And it
This
says
is
Yeah, but
based
part
on the
of
study, even
this
if
is part
1 to
this this is part
2%
of
of
the
the
problem though.
1,100 officers arrested
This is part of
involve
the problem
police.
though. This is
All
part
right,
of
go
the
ahead.
problem
yeah,
like
but
because
it's really confusing on why he's even trying
I'm
to
not
justify
saying
that.
it doesn't happen.
So why are you doing it though? But why are you
minimize it.
doing
It's
that though?
minimizing it.
Everybody's acting like this happens all the
It
time.
does.
it
If we're
Okay,
does.
telling
perfect
you,
example. Hey,
It happens often enough, is what we're saying. It happened often
no,
enough.
it
It
actually
does,
and
sir.
Scott
And
in
when it
reference to
does
the
happen,
video,
we have
infamous
people who
cop down
minimize
in
it. It's crazy.
Florida, the cop down in Florida who planted stuff on people. He didn't care if you were white, black, young, or old. He planted stuff on people. We covered this story in this room not too long ago. For over 15 years, between 10 to 20 years to be exact, on how many years he was doing this. In all those years, guess what? All of it was on camera. All of it was on camera through all those years. So many people protested. Not protested, but literally fought their cases. Many people in jail, probation for drug offenses, like serious crimes. And it was all on camera until finally somebody decided to pick up one of their stories and actually investigate and realize, holy shit, for all of these years, this guy has been doing this and it's all on camera. Like, bro, it happens, bro. It's just a matter of
I
if
know
they
it
get
happens.
caught.
I know it happens.
I put a link in the chat, and there's a link in the chat from a Florida police officer where they threw out 100 cases, over 100 cases, and they went back and they reviewed a lot of his body cam. So the link is in the chat. It's from
Trust me,
CNN.
bro. I
It's
back.
crazy.
Listen, I got many friends who are cops,
It's
good,
crazy.
close friends. So I'm with you. But listen, man, I can't sit here and act like there's not a lot of bad stuff happening out there either.
It's crazy that we have to go through these lengths just to even just bring the light to what's taking place. And you're sitting here and minimizing the experiences when several
How is it
people.
crazy?
What do you mean? How's it crazy? What
Exactly.
do you mean? How's it crazy?
I'm saying, how is it crazy? Like, we all don't live in the same areas. We all don't have the same experiences. We all don't have the same background. So why don't we use these opportunities to educate and inform versus shame people for not being aware?
Okay. Like I
I
said,
mean,
it's great. Allow me to allow me
that
to answer the
it's
question.
crazy because
It's crazy because we
No,
had several people from
that's
several
bullshit.
places.
That's
it's crazy
bullshit.
because Rodney
One mic
King
on
was
Ray.
in
One mic on Ray.
1992.
One mic on Ray.
It's crazy because we had several people from several different places saying the exact same thing, and yet we have someone still saying, "Oh, I can't believe that." Or we have five officers. You think that all of them have body cams and no one's, you know what I mean, saying whatever, whatever to minimize what's taking place. It's crazy that people think like that. It's crazy that yet, you know what I'm saying, with all this still going on, or all these people telling them whatever, whatever, they still going to be in denial about it. This is why, right? That many police officers don't get exposed because that's the cover up. You know what I'm saying? You're covering up, whether it's directly or indirectly, right? But the balance for the people is still the same. You know what I'm saying? So people just have to do a little bit more of opening their eyes and seeing what's going on. The world is changing, and the world is is just in a bad spot. And we need everyone to like open up and say, you know what I'm saying, if something's wrong, it's wrong, no matter where it's coming from. But I'm not gonna sit and say something's wrong on one end. You feel me? When I continuously see, stuff like that's happening from the other side and no one's doing anything about it.
Can I answer?
Hey, let me
I
step in and say
totally
something real
agree
quickly.
with
Let
you.
me step in and
Sorry,
say
I
something real
wasn't
quickly.
necessarily pushing back against you. I was just saying, sometimes once you inform, then that's on them. You know what I mean? If I inform and it comes from me, if y'all play dumb again, I'm gonna call your ass out. I'm going back on mute.
So this is my take on it. I
Scott.
sit there and listen for a while, and I'm just say, coming from a background law enforcement, I was a police officer for 13 years, and I seen a lot about dirty cops. I saw it. Turned off body cams. Saw it. Done it. Then never did it to violate anybody's rights. I did it to make a phone call, but it happens all the time. You see, so you know, people perception is based on where they live. So if you don't live in a ghetto, you don't understand the type of road cops that work out there. Your perception of police officers is more on a professional, friendly tip. They put different cops in different areas. So if you seeing how that also is behaving in your community, and then you look at another community, it's like, oh no, that's not gonna happen. It will happen. I know cops that walk around with extra guns on them, like you said, throwdown guns. It happens. That's just the honest God truth.
Hold on, guys. One second.
No,
Go ahead, Todd.
nothing. Get nothing.
Just a second, guy. He's muted. I'm trying to get to him.
Clubhouse, do not mute. Do not touch the mute button. Do not touch my mute button. If one of you guys touch my mute button, I'm gonna have to take everyone down.
That was me. When Marcus was speaking, it was giving feedback. I was pushing you. I didn't realize it was going to affect anything. It was
Okay.
no, it was me.
So anyway, as I was saying, the officer, they arrested me and they gave me the charge, even though I didn't have any drugs on me, but they didn't care. I was a young kid. You know what I'm saying? In their mind, they didn't give a fuck about me. They didn't care that they was about to ruin my life. Now, what I did in this instance was I went and something that normally don't happen, but I knew I had to get do something unusual. I went to the grand jury and testified before the grand jury because basically they have the grand jury hearing without you, they indict you, and then you start your process. I went before the grand jury, brought witnesses, merchants, store merchants, and other people out there that was out there that night that saw me, what you call it, walking across the street. They knew that I was nowhere near the drugs, and I testified. Now, after I got finished testifying, I waited outside the grand jury room. The prosecutor came out because your attorney's not there with you. You got to go in by yourself if you're going to go in the grand jury because don't need representation. So I asked, "Hey, what's going on?" They said, "We'll let your attorney know." He didn't tell me, so I left there. Come to find out, they no billed me. Okay, a no bill means they decided not to indict me based on all the witnesses that saw what actually happened, and so I got out of that. Now, folks, I took that desperate measure because I knew that if they indicted me, it was game over. Okay, I wasn't going to risk going to trial, and I would have taken a plea bargain. So I say all that to say this right here. When you guys talk about what police officers won't do, I know exactly what police officers will do because there was a police officer that almost changed my entire life. Okay, for no reason at all, almost changed my entire life. Okay, because I certainly would have went to prison. All right, for that, had I not went to grand jury and fought at the grand jury, because once I got indicted, and they took me to trial. First of all, trial would have been expensive. Secondly, the conviction rate is much higher. Okay, and I decided to fight it at the grand jury rather than wait to possibly take a plea bargain. And I got lucky, and it was no bill. So I'm telling you guys this. So when you guys are sitting there talking about throwdown guns and everything else, imagine sitting there in a cell, like not knowing what the hell's going on, and wondering, like, waiting for you to get your green sheet, your paperwork, to see, because you really are innocent, to see how they're tying you to the drugs, and then to see the police officers say that they saw me throw the drugs in an area I've never even been to. I was walking across the street, and their story didn't line up, just didn't make sense. But
That was
once
a good
again,
move.
yeah. Yeah. The guy, you know what I'm talking about. Like once
Yeah,
you're
that was a
indicted,
good move.
you most likely you don't most a lot of people take what plea bargains
Exactly.
because you're facing a lot of time.
But the first thing
So
they're gonna tell you is don't go to the grand jury because you're not gonna be protected by a lawyer. But OGs do
exactly.
that. That was an OG move you did.
Yep, I went to the grand. So you know about that, right? Because my attorney couldn't go to the grand jury with me, and I
Yeah, I
went.
know about that.
Yep, yep. So yeah, and so with that being said, so when you guys are sitting here talking about what police officers don't do, I can tell you what they do. They almost ruined my life, man. My children wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have the profession I have. I wouldn't have nothing, and it was for no reason at all, other than the police officer saw me, and I may have got smart with him one time before, or whatever. He knew me, and he decided tonight was my night, and it was right there, and it was the night before I had to bury my oldest sister. So I
Go, J-
land with that.
go, JB.
Pay me my 2 grand, Dave, or don't talk on here. Bang,
Mm,
did you say you were with some other people?
I was with my older brother, actually. If you want to, here, I'll be honest. My older brother had a drug habit at the time. Okay,
No, I'm not.
and well, hold on, wait 1 second. Since you asked me, he had and I went out there because my sister's funeral was the following day morning, and I wanted to make sure that he shows up for the funeral. That's why I was out there.
Is he still alive?
Yes, he is. He just
You,
discovered he has liver cancer, but and so he's
I,
yeah. So,
I
but
like that.
anyway, but
Have you
what
ever
I'm
asked him if he threw it?
don't do that, Scott. Don't do that, bro.
Come on,
No,
man. Didn't you
Let's
listen
not play
to him?
fucking games.
wow.
My brother was fucking with me, okay? And my brother, I say my brother had a drug fucking habit. He wasn't a fucking drug dealer.
I
He
didn't.
wouldn't.
Oh, how
He would
much
know. He
was
wouldn't.
it? How
My
much
brother.
was it?
My
I'm
brother
just
wouldn't have
picturing like
thrown.
an
He
eight
would.
ball here.
No,
Boss,
he
don't
wouldn't.
be a
He wouldn't.
dumbass.
He would have thrown drugs. He would have ran with the fucking drugs. He certainly wouldn't have been. I certainly wouldn't have been able to find him. He'd been fucking somewhere in a fucking house somewhere getting beamed the fuck up. All right. He wouldn't be out there
I
trying to
thought it was
run.
like an eight ball or something. You
No,
just have to
he wouldn't
run.
be
Boss,
out there
don't be
trying
a
to.
dumbass.
Well,
He
I
wouldn't
mean,
be out there trying
listen.
to run fucking
If
cells. I wouldn't have been able to
I've
find him.
been in the situation, I don't think he would have told you, especially. But I just thought maybe like this many years later. I
No,
don't know.
no, no. It wasn't my fucking brother's drugs. It was
All
a
right,
fucking
cool.
pack. It was a package.
I didn't
Okay.
hear that
Well,
part. I
one
thought it
second
was
It's
just
here.
a
like this
little
shit
Yeah,
bit.
is a joke. It's no
yeah,
joke.
yeah, yeah. I
Not
know
a
exactly.
joke.
Yeah. So
It's
anyway,
just a good possibility
no,
if
no,
it was a
no.
little bit.
No, this is the brother I found out had liver cancer 2 weeks ago. That's going to be dead by the end of the year, by the way. But let me just say
Sorry
this
to
right here
hear
to you.
that.
Let me just say this to you. Okay. No, my brother had a fucking drug problem. I said that. If it was his
Okay,
shit, one second. If it was his shit, he wouldn't have been out there on the fucking corner. He'd have been somewhere getting high with it.
that's why I thought it was a little bit. I didn't realize it was
You
a
a piece
lot.
of shit, man.
Just
You're a real piece of shit, man.
okay. I
So
mean,
what's the
anything back.
solution? What is the solution for what we are dealing
The
with here in
story,
America?
guys.
Sorry to
More.
hear about
Don't
your
one
brother's
second.
diagnosis,
One
JB.
second.
Yeah.
The only reason I shared that fucking story, okay, is for people to think that cops don't throw guns, they don't do this, they don't do that. Yes, they do. That's the only reason I shared that story. Not for
Exactly.
no
It
troll
couldn't
and
be
all
the
of those
cops. It's
shit.
your brothers.
It
But I'm
wasn't.
done.
You're taking it how you want to. It's not what I meant.
That's exactly what you meant.
Yeah,
That's
but
exactly
his
what you
narration
meant.
It
was
was
quite
also
clear
what
from the
40
first
years
time.
ago. This shit's been exposed for a while. I just don't think it happens like it used to.
Boss,
My
shut your dumb
opinion.
ass up.
Well, it's allowed. Is this debate the news or what? Because my
No,
opinion
no,
is
no. He may not
it
know.
happened a ton before
He may not
Rodney
know. He may
King.
not know, guys. I'm not telling him to shut up. He may not know. But it is what it is.
How is he
I,
not gonna know, man? The guy lives in Mississippi,
I'm
man. He
not
knows about
saying
people
it
getting blamed,
doesn't
getting hanged,
happen.
and all whatnot. What is he
You
talking
guys are
about, man?
acting like one out of every
Can't
10 crimes
understand you.
is like this.
It is.
Hey Scott, you said you know what? You asked a great question. You said you didn't think it still happens. You don't think
Minority
it
doesn't
happens as
care.
much as anymore, right? There was a gentleman who spoke earlier. I think he said he was a cop of 32 years. I think you should ask him. I think if anybody right
Yeah.
now could give
If,
you
if,
a
if you
Notice
ask
that
a
measure
group
of
of
what's
people,
notice
how
that
many cops are in
you
here?
notice he has a name that they call them throwdown guns. We all know it's called throwdown guns.
no, yeah,
He
I heard what the guy said that too. But I want to. What I'm saying is, you should ask him on how regular basis is that still happening today. I mean, the guy, 32 years. I mean, I think he would have a great expertise on what's really going on. No,
I think
so I'm
that
just saying, let's just ask that guy. I don't remember his
Uh,
name.
it's a culture.
yeah, it's me.
It's
It's
Marcus.
Marcus. It's I was a officer for 13 years. 13. But
13.
uh,
Sorry about that. 13 years.
it's
Hell,
all
still
good.
enough time. But go ahead,
So what?
please enlighten him on what's because I may be wrong. We may be wrong. It may not be
Nah,
happening as
y'all ain't
much
wrong.
on the
Y'all
streets
ain't
anymore
wrong.
today.
I've been on
Let him
sides, but
speak.
I've been on both sides of the law. When I grew up, my first encounter with the police, I was 13 years old. I was 13 years old, was walking through a white neighborhood, so I wouldn't have to walk on the main street to make it to school at sixth grade. And I got a backpack on, 8 o'clock in the morning, and the police roll up on me. This before body cams, snatch me up, put me in handcuffs. I'm crying, and he telling me I shouldn't be walking through a white neighborhood. And he put me in handcuffs, drive me to the school, and dropped me off, and told me don't ever go back to that neighborhood again. So I- a
Wow.
white people just don't understand like what goes on in our community. That was another reason why I became a police officer, because I have experienced the trauma of just being a black male, of somebody coming up on me while I'm in high school, pulling over my door and searching me down. They not finding nothing because I ain't doing nothing. But you black in a certain neighborhood, that's how you gonna get treated. And if they at any moment they want to throw something on you, Then boom, there it is. It's too many cases out here for
Exactly.
this to even
But
be a, like,
but to Bart's point, or Scott's point, it's like how often does this really happen? And that's
man,
a
that
valid
A
happens.
question.
lot.
Well,
And y'all
think
were
about it
calling
from the
him
standpoint.
names.
The only
When I
reason.
can even attest that doesn't happen. I'm a black woman
So let me
living
say
in Los
this. Let me
Angeles and
say
I'm in
this
a
real
bunch of
quick.
white neighborhoods and
Let
I've
me
never
say
been
this
scared
real
off the
quick.
street like that. So
No, 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 no.
How
We're not
often
talking
does it
about that
happen?
part. We're not talking
Right?
about that part. We're simply talking about the planting of evidence, and we're just use
Planted
guns right now.
evidence.
We'll just use
Okay.
okay,
guns.
okay.
So think about it from this standpoint, man. An object in motion tend to stay in motion till it's interrupted by equal greater force, right? Because it's like a cloudy area. Because nobody gonna come back. It's very often they have groups. Like in LA, it's a whole different culture. They got gangs in the police, right? Out here in Houston, it's different. It's not like that. But stuff will happen, right? How often this happen? It can be a one-on-one cop pulled over, had a bad call, and so they won't get dinged for violating somebody's rights. They plant something on them. They not telling nobody. So we don't know how much is actually happened, how much is not happened. It's not like that. So and only time you find out that it's happened if somebody slip and a body cam catch it because it's angles on that body cam. Where literally you can put that body cam in a certain way and slip something in somebody's car. Easy. It's too easy. So to say that it happened is decreasing, I honestly don't know. But I put it like this: it does happen. Have I seen it happen? Hell yeah, I seen it happen.
So are you with HPD or sheriff or constable?
I'm retired. I stopped doing
Don't
it
answer
back
that.
in
Don't answer.
2023.
Oh well, stop. I'm from Houston, so I'm on the actual public
I'm in.
safety
So since you're in
committee.
Houston, I was out of Waller County.
Okay, you heard of Montgomery County?
I used to live out there in the
Hmm.
woods.
Yeah, crazy county. Yeah. But
I
no,
moved.
I wrote.
I'm in
I'm
Boudin
on the
County
public
right
safety
now.
committee in Harris County. Or was.
Let me tell you
And
about.
whenever
Hold on. Let me
HPD
give you
rolled
one.
out their body cam policy, right, I was in the room. And I think that's a way that we can also affect change and be instrumental in change is to be on these committees, is to have these conversations, is to educate. Right, the only reason why I'm like there's a line between educating and offense. All right, like why don't you know this? Well, some people live in a bubble, y'all. Some people have the luxury of living in a bubble and not having to deal with it, right? But some of us, that is, as soon as those lights come on, it is literally life and death for some of us. So we are fully aware of this. But what I chose to do after my cousin was killed by an HPD officer and shot in his back, I joined the public safety committee and I went to different churches in the city to register people for grand juries. So like it's one thing for us to educate, but it's also another thing for us to get in and make change happen. Thank
You know,
Sorry to hear that about your cousin. What? Tell me what happened with your cousin.
you. Mm-mm. I'll hit you on the back.
Okay.
Oh, Michael Jonathan.
now you guys think this is like isolated incidents. I mean, like my what happened to me, I had other incidents. You know, and that's why I'm sitting there just like, yeah, don't pretend like this stuff that doesn't happen. You know, New Jersey Turnpike, Middlesex County, they had cops. These cops eventually went to prison,
Exactly, Jonathan.
and I remember getting pulled over. I was in the back seat of the car. I wasn't even driving, and when the cop pulled us over, it's late night on the Jersey Turnpike. I was young. I was 18 years old. I pulled my driver's license out. Say, officer, here's my ID. Guys, I was naive. He goes, oh, you Mr. Helpful, huh? And then he's like, all right, get your helpful ass out the car. And then, as a matter of fact, all four of you guys got the car. And because there's four of us in the car. And now, me being naive, thinking I have rights, and I do, I said, officer, why'd you pull us over? He goes, I pulled you over because I saw four nappy headed people in the car. That's exact words. It stung. It stung the fuck out of me because it wasn't a local police. It was a state police. It was the state police that said this shit to me.
Mm-hmm.
And now cars had bumpers back then, guys. So they took us all four of us, sat us in the bumper, and it was snow out on the ground. I remember that. They made us take our shoes off and stand on top of our shoes. And I was like, why are you doing that? Because I don't want to chase. I don't have to chase after you, motherfuckers. Okay, so we ran. We wouldn't have no shoes on. This true stuff. Can't make this shit up. And they started searching the car and everything else. Start threatening to beat us up. We didn't tell them what the drugs was and all this other stuff. And then when they didn't find any drugs, um, they wanted to make me and another guy fight on the highway. And I was scared as hell. I told you I was 18 years old, didn't have much experience. And the one thing I thought was I can throw, and this guy was like a brother. He was like a brother of mine. I grew up around him. Remember, I was 18. And so he's probably like 27, 30, whatever. He's older. And I was thinking, his name's Arthur Hill. I was thinking like how I can throw him out into oncoming traffic. I probably would have got a fucking murder charge because I was like, I'm not gonna let because he was much big and muscular. I was a skinny kid back then, and I thought like I'll throw him in. If he like tries me, I wouldn't push him into oncoming traffic. We're right down the side of the road on turnpike, and these cops were about to make us fucking fight each other, and then. Um, uh, then a cop grabbed me came over to tell me, and I was standing on my shoes. Remember, guys, he grabbed me. At first, he told us to fight. He told us to fight, and he didn't move. I didn't move, and I was like, because I wasn't gonna move, and I was hoping he didn't move, and he didn't move either, and because I thought like I was gonna have to try to push him into the oncoming traffic if he moved and touched me. Guys, I shouldn't. Like I said, I was young. I was like I had a whole bunch of ideas, getting ready for college, getting ready for all this other shit. But here I am now trying to process how to deal with this moment. And then now remember we're on the side of the road. If you guys know how the side of the road is, those like little ditches on the side of the road. And remember I told you it's snow. So I was standing on my shoe, and I told you I was skinny, small. I used to run track. I was a middle distance runner, miler, 2 miler. He picks me up, and he throws me down into the little ditch in the snow. All right, and then he goes and tries to grab Arthur Hill, okay, the guy that was like a brother to me, and he tries to pick him up, and he couldn't pick him up. And he told him, "Get down the hill." And I remember him diving down the hill. He dove down the hill. Like I was like, and it's because remember, guys, I was 18 years old. I worshipped him. It was me, my brother, my cousin, and Arthur Hill. And I remember they slapped my brother in the face while my brother was sitting on a bumper. And I looked up to my brother at the time. And when they slapped him, and I thought, ooh, they're gonna get it now. My brother, he's not gonna go for this shit. And the only thing my brother said was, ooh, it's cold out here. Guys, those are all life defining moments. Like years, decades later, I still remember all of this. So when you guys are sitting there saying that this shit doesn't happen, this shit happens. Okay? And I'm quite certain as though you talk to a lot of people, they have stories as well. But once again, that was, getting pulled over, and those cops, they were arrested eventually for planting evidence on people and all kinds of stuff in Middlesex County, and it was a big thing, that they were doing, and it was minorities that they were doing it to. So it's real.
Jonathan, Middlesex County, is it around, is it two on the turnpike around Camden?
No, Middlesex County is like New Brunswick, right there on that around exit 9, exit 10, exit 9.
Well, the reason I asked
Exit,
you that is,
exit eight, somewhere around there.
yeah, around is it three, two, three, and four. We have experience like that in the night. I believe in 1995, driving to Baltimore. Police pulled me over, bought my new Saab 900T. Driving down, he pulled me over, claimed that I was drunk, took me to the station. Later, I went home. I couldn't get my car that night. Came back the following day. Realized that my car, all the money, he didn't allow me to take anything. All the money that was in my car got robbed. Some of the things that I had in the car, expensive things he took, couldn't find none. Later find out that that's a normal practice. Around there, people know. They pull you over, they frame something on you, they rob you, they take whatever that you want, whatever that they see in your car, and that's that. Yeah, it happened. So,
Yeah,
just it up
Dirty
right.
Turnpike was really bad because it's
Yeah.
cocaine alleyway. Because New York City to Florida, that was the New York to Florida pipeline, and that was the last stop or the first stop. So yeah, they're really bad on that turnpike. But
Do
real
you know how many
story.
sto- or go ahead,
Go
man.
ahead. No, no, I'm done. I just said real story.
No, I mean, he, Sir G, I would have never brought up this example, but Sir G just did. When you are a known drunk, the cops are going to look for your car. And
Okay.
I'm not talking about you, not talking about you. The profiling of cops pulling over people, their job is to look for the criminals. And if you're somebody in a town that is known for always drinking and leaving bars, they're going to be looking for you. You got to go different ways. I mean, they profile like that all the time.
Sometimes you really,
If
There's a
I told
big
sometimes,
you
difference
that,
between planting evidence.
hold
All
on.
right. Go ahead, man.
Sometimes there are some certain situations that you may just have to listen and learn, right? Or maybe you ask constructive
Right.
questions, okay, rather than you kind of trying to show your bias by what you say, okay? Because
No,
nobody
sir,
says,
Jude. I'm
okay,
saying it
just
was a
let-
ridiculous comparison you made.
no, hold on. We talked about New Jersey Turnpike. And if you know about this area, maybe you may need to visit so you could familiarize yourself with the context, right? There is a certain police cadre that patrols New Jersey Turnpike, okay? And there are regions. It doesn't happen everywhere on New Jersey Turnpike. It's a very, very long way.
No,
For some,
It's this
so
way
Ju-
everywhere.
hold on. Yeah.
it was the whole turnpike. In fact, people had to come up and protest the turnpike because that turnpike was used to arrest. They harassed minorities. It was a turnpike. People stopped taking the turnpike. They started taking alternative routes. They started trying to take Route 109 down, and just to avoid the turnpike. Because if you got on that turnpike, you were certain to get pulled over. And if you guys look up New Jersey Turnpike, you guys Google it. I haven't Googled it yet, but because I'm quite certain that some articles are still out there. Yeah, it was rated one of the worst highways for minorities to travel on
Okay.
because that's why your experience wasn't what you call it because they were profiling and they had to stop profiling and the national people had to get involved to stop it from happening because of the proximity because it's New York City, it goes right into New York City, and it drives, basically that's what it was. So
Yeah, I was coming from New York City, and what I after that incident happened, that was when I heard that area. I didn't know that it was all through the whole turnpike. That area where I was stopped, they were notorious around there. I believe it was around Camden, around the Z2, that they were notorious around there. So I didn't know that it spans throughout the whole turnpike. That's the news.
yeah, so anyway guys, we went down I-95 because people don't believe in throwaway guns. So look, I don't agree with the guy, the father killing an officer that's not associated with it. But when I'm not impressed by the gun. I'm not impressed by the gun thing because I've seen so many different things. Whereas I guess it may not be your experience, but I know that throwdown guns and all that other stuff. I know that they exist, and not all officers have to have them. Um, but they're they come on the scene. Even if someone's not on the scene that doesn't have one, there's someone to show up and give you one.
Can I
Okay,
ask you a
put one.
question? Or go ahead.
But go ahead. No, okay, but we have the gentleman on Clubhouse that's more aware of this than I am. But go ahead, ask your question.
I'll let whoever wants, just whoever answers it first. What do you think is in the life of a thief? What do you think's more scary or a bigger deal to do? Stealing a gun or stealing a car? I mean, what's anybody's opinion? I
What's the
just
That's
relevance?
that's
What's
no,
what's the
answer the
that's
relevance?
question.
red herring argument.
What's the relevance?
Well, the guy was caught in a stolen car. You guys think it's fucking crazy that he'd have a stolen gun or two of them on him? The whole even suggesting planting evidence is crazy.
Who was he pulled over by? Judge Dredd? Like, what are we talking about? This is the judge, jury, and
He was in a high
executioner
speed
pulling this
chase.
person over as the judge, jury, and executioner.
What do you
What
mean?
are we talking about here?
Answer
Did you
my
see him?
question.
Did
What's
you
a
watch the
bigger stretch?
video? Did you watch the video?
I didn't know it was
Well,
released.
well, but
Hold
regardless,
on,
right?
let's not get all left
Okay,
hand, left
no,
turn. What's a
but
bigger stretch?
okay, the
Thinking that
bigger
No,
stretch. Okay,
you the one taking the left turn. We need to talk about the actual event that happened, right? This man watched a video of his son getting killed, right? And he
no, we're
went
not talking
outside.
about him killing the cop. We're talking
We
about the
this
actual
is the
original
topic.
crime. The
What are you
original
talking about?
crime when the young man who sadly was
I'm not
killed,
listen,
the
that's not the
crime of when
topic.
he stole a
The
car and
topic
got.
is listen, brother. The topic is, right? The individual that killed the cop, right? And the reason
Shit,
why
the
he
thing
killed the
was just
cop
talking
is because
about.
he
All
seen the
right,
video of
then
his
I'm
son
done.
getting killed
I
and he went
understand.
outside and he ran the cop over,
let's
right?
You know
play his
what?
game.
I
That's
actually
good. Let's play
understand
his
his
game.
emotions at that moment.
Okay,
100% do.
look at what is. I'll give it to you. Both of them are equally bad. Let's say the gun will attract much more jail time. Okay, so that's the
No,
most serious.
dude, the God just
Let me
said we're
finish.
not talking about that. We're talking
Let,
about the actual
let me
crime.
finish. Let me
Well, ask
finish.
the
Okay.
God.
Let's talk about the crime then. You want to talk about the crime?
Yeah.
The crime is the young boy was shot at the back. Tell me the threat there. When somebody was shot at the back. I don't remember people pointing a gun at a police officer with their back. Okay? So let's talk about that one. If you want to really focus on what really happened, because that one is just going over your head, or maybe
I
your
didn't. So you've seen the video? I didn't realize there was a video.
well,
Sir
dude,
Jude, have you seen the video?
that's
Sir Jude,
in the
have,
Okay,
yes or
report.
I
no?
think I'm
Hold
watching
on,
it right now. I think
that's
I'm
on the
watching it right
report. They saw that the guy
No,
was shot
you're
at the back,
acting like you saw it.
bro. That was on the report. Are you gonna go by
Well,
the report or not?
are you gonna? Okay, if you're gonna believe the report,
Or you're not gonna believe the report now that the
but you're,
police released? You're not gonna
well,
believe the report.
but you're not believing that they didn't say that there was a gun or planted a
Why
gun.
are you? No, we're
Oh
not
no,
saying
I'm
that
just
there
like you're
wasn't a
at. I
gun.
didn't realize there was a video.
No, we're not saying that there wasn't a gun. What we were questioning is
now. Okay,
how the gun got there.
listen, I'm
Okay?
watching the footage right now, and it pauses it two different times and says that there's a beige firearm recovered that appears to be in Hinton's hands here. Okay, so
And
the
it says that he pointed it at the police.
it I haven't got to that part yet. It's this is, but I mean the fact
Because
is he
all I
does
want
look
you to
like he's
understand is,
armed.
all I want you to understand is, right?
Listen, I think you should probably watch this
Have
video,
you
but
seen the
right?
video, the guy?
Listen. The father seen the video, right? He's seen the video. Whatever he saw in that video, right, caused him to do what he did.
wow, y'all do this shit
Period.
all the time. Fine, you know what? That's just how
Don't
you
don't
think,
don't
and that's
don't.
fine.
Hold on, check this out, right? This is an article right here, right? In this article from NBC News, right, it says that the lawyer said in its argument for no bond, the state said Hinton has a giant mental health question mark and is a danger to law enforcement. But his lawyer Bennett said at the hearing he wanted to make sure that his client was treated as a mentally ill person and not as a cop killer. I don't think he was a cop killer. I think he was not in his right mind, and I think he should be treated like any other mentally ill person that commits a crime,
I
right?
agree.
Then his aunt said, right, I've known Rodney since I was 15 years old. That wasn't Rodney that I knew. It was like his soul wasn't even in his body. And I can only imagine what he felt after he saw that video. Because when I finally seen it, I watched the video from the beginning to the end and watched my nephew drop. It was like my soul left my body. So I can only imagine how his father felt. So that's what we're talking about here. Jonathan just said in his story, right, that he felt like he might have to push the police into the traffic because he felt he was in danger. So what are we really saying here? We're gonna say that you're gonna know how you're gonna feel if your loved one gets killed by somebody? You don't know. Oh, this
It's
is
just
what we're really talking about.
okay. I guess it's just a cultural thing because after Austin Metcalf's son was stabbed in the chest, his reaction was to say that he forgave Carmelo Anthony.
You
Oh,
know, you made a
Okay,
point
and
there,
what's your point?
Andrew. Andrew, you made a very intelligent point there. Yes, it's a cultural thing. Some people of certain culture
Yeah, yeah,
do not feel.
yeah, that
Hold
was
on.
crazy when he said it's the cultural thing. What about
It
when
is.
that wait one
It
second.
is.
What
Yeah.
about when that woman walked into that man's house? Forget his name in Dallas and shot and killed him because she walked into his
Botham.
house. Okay, and they stood up and hugged him in the court, hugged her in the courtroom. What are you
His name
talking
is
about,
Botham.
Andrew? Huh?
No.
His name is
Uh,
Botham.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
About them. Yeah. So so it's a cultural thing, but they stood up and hugged the woman in
don't
court.
no, don't take it personal, man.
No, you would no, you think
No,
you said it's a cultural thing.
you're taking it personal. You're
No, I'm
taking
not.
it.
You
Man,
just
I'm
I'm not.
talking about.
You
I'm
said
talking
it's a
about
cultural thing.
hood culture.
No, no,
Hood culture
no.
isn't black. It's white.
We, we
It's
we've been
Mexican.
speaking
Or
about
Cuban.
we've been Andrew. We've been speaking about this all along, and no one has made it personal or talked about anything. We've just been talking about professions, okay, police officers, and all this other stuff. You're now talking about cultural
Yeah,
things.
I think it's a cultural thing.
Okay,
I,
okay.
I, let me tell you what I was
His
trying to say.
response is to go murder a random cop.
Um, Andrew, look at why I believe you that is a cultural thing, and I'm glad that you mentioned that. Okay, it's a cultural thing because I have seen the position that you adopt, and Scott also do adopt. Very hard for you two guys to comprehend what was going on. So it's a cultural thing to the extent that yes, I believe and I understand that some people of some certain cultures do not feel empathy or resonate with the feelings of people of other culture or share their experience or understand what they go through, it doesn't resonate. Okay, but if it's somebody that you feel the same affinity or you share the same cultural beliefs or you share the same culture with, you do tend to understand them even if what they did is wrong. You seem to resonate with them, you seem to empathize with them, you seem to put yourself in their own shoes and see things in their own eyes. But you are blinded when it comes to somebody of a different culture. Yes, it's a cultural thing, and I'm glad that you mentioned that. I rest.
Yeah,
So
and
I
like
just
literally what
watched.
you're saying is I'm sitting here listening to everybody taking the same position that we did on Carmelo Anthony. And so I think that's just what it is. And I'm seeing it. I'm not blinded to it. I'm just talking. We're just having a conversation.
So just so you guys know, it looks like the lieutenant came out and said that the gun was in Ryan Hinton's hand. So it wasn't in the car. It wasn't that he didn't have it on him. She is saying that they confirmed it was in his hand. And I'm also reading that he was shot in the chest and the arm. So I know you guys said he was shot in the back. I don't know if that information is correct, but it says chest and arm.
that's what I
Where
read.
did
I
you
didn't
get
That
your
want to
was
bring that
information that
up
the
incredible.
gun was in his hand? Where'd you get that information?
from the lieutenant of the police, but that
From
doesn't
the
count.
freaking lieutenant that gave the press
But
conference.
he's the
Yeah,
one that
but see
And
pointed the
that
I'm
see
gun.
that's
I'm
not
The
necessarily true.
lieutenant
watching the
is the
video.
point of the gun.
Why don't you
Okay,
That's
guys
well,
watch
I
the video?
mean, look,
I just can't.
if the
Okay.
lieutenant did a if you're saying the lieutenant went as far as doing a press conference and saying that the gun was in his hand when it's possibly not true, then I mean, guys, I don't know what to say. You know, it's crazy to me. I don't know if you're trying to separate the two matters, but to almost justify the behavior of the father. Look, I almost lost my kid at the school. They let her bleed out there without even calling us. I didn't sue him. I didn't do any of that stuff. So some of us do operate differently. I'm not going to go and run over the first police officer that I see just because I'm experiencing tragedy. I'm sorry. It's not me. And I'm not going to sit there and say if he would have killed the right cop, he would have been a hero. What the hell? No, this is nuts to me, respectfully,
Let me just, Diana, let me just say this right here.
with my
I,
$1 phone.
yeah, I don't agree with this guy killing that cop at all. I think it's tragic. I think he needs to pay. And so we're talking about Rodney. Rodney, yeah, it was wrong to go and run that guy over. All right.
Yeah,
Now,
and hey,
wait, and I've said that all along. But I'm gonna tell you, a throwaway gun, and for the lieutenant to come out and say that, by the time everyone gets there, the brass and the white shirts or whatever you want to call them, or by the time they get there, all right, the detectives that evidence already is already planted. So it's not like the lieutenant's part of the cover up. The lieutenant's not part of the cover up. The lieutenant is just reporting what his officers has reported to him and what they have and what was seen when they got there. All right, so I just want to put that out there. You guys think it's like a big conspiracy? It's no big conspiracy that runs all the way up to the top of the department.
Okay, JB, that's
One second.
fine. I'm literally
I
watching
know.
the video.
One second. One second. I just want to make sure that Diana understands this. So the lieutenant saying that, every lieutenant's going to say that. Every captain, every person, spokesperson for the department is going to say that because that's what they believe and that's what they know to be true. But that doesn't mean that those facts were altered prior to.
I bet
Uh,
you 500 there's a full video of the body camera never going off.
But wait, what do you mean
There's
altered?
video.
Do you mean that someone put the gun in
That's what he's
his?
saying,
I'm not
ain't it?
understand that. Okay. Okay.
That's what I've been trying to argue and understand with him.
no, see, hold on. Let's not conflate two things. Hold on one second, Andrew. Let's not conflate two things. Earlier, JB made his position, and that's how JB feels. When we got onto the whole planting of thing, we weren't saying that that's 100% what happened here. We were just talking about discussing
Here it
it and
is.
saying that yes, it happens. JB's the only person so far that has said that he feels like something was planted. It hasn't even
no,
been
no,
a
no, no, no.
consensus of the room
I
yet.
did not say that. I did not say that.
You didn't say, JB, I swear you said earlier you felt like there, because of how the video
No,
was
I said
blurred,
that.
you
I
feel like
said that.
something could have been planted.
No, I did not say that.
Pretty much just said it now.
No,
I
actually,
said that. I said that.
what I
Okay, my bad.
said,
That was the God. Sorry.
because see, once again, there's nothing here. But what I'm saying to you, and I'll say it again, and I'll stand 10 toes down on it. I don't know what happened in this case, but I would, like I said, when the first was said, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Okay, because it happens. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised. So
I
you
wouldn't be
know.
And that's
surprised
where the
if that.
conversation went left. And when we went elsewhere and discussed this, it happening.
I
Okay,
wouldn't be surprised if, like the last racial incident in the park, this one is done by the feds
this
to
wasn't no
make
racial
all of
incident.
America fight.
Why is this a racial incident?
It's. Are you serious?
Yeah, but
You.
why is it a
What if?
racial
Okay, if it was
incident?
a black cop that shot him, and all this, are we still talking about it?
Not at all.
No, right now,
No,
this is
no, no, no,
the
no,
Yes.
conversation has been
Hold,
more
hold,
about
hold,
the
hold, hold,
dad.
hold,
no,
hold, hold, hold.
no. Hold on one
That's
second, Danny.
disingenuous.
No,
We would
one
be
second. Hold
talking
on,
about it.
Danny, because Danny, you jumping in and you're like you're talking
Shit,
about not
let
at
him
all.
chime in, damn
No,
it.
Wait a minute. That's the
Or
only time I've
every
what
heard
made
him
it?
freaking
say it.
liberal
What?
chimes in.
Every
Hold on.
time.
Hold on, wait. I want to add this because this wasn't no racial incident. You guys are bringing up race. I didn't bring up
Okay,
race not one
okay, I'm
time.
allowed to.
No,
I'm bringing up
wait.
race.
I know, but hold on. But all we've been speaking about was police shootings. Police planting evidence and everything else. Okay, and so police doing things that they shouldn't do. All right, so and this guy, he went out and killed a police officer. I don't even know what the color of the police officer he killed. Okay, what I will say is this right here. I stand by that. Okay, I don't know whether or not evidence was planted on this. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Okay, because that's what I'm saying. That's my experience. That's my experience, and I'm the most pro police there is. Okay, all right, because we need police this and that. But I know what it is. Now, do they mess with me now? No, I don't have a problem with the police at all. They respect me. I don't. I'm not concerned when I drive. I drive by officer. I don't think twice. I don't do any of that shit. Okay, because I've gotten to a point where I won't be fucked with. All right. So, but what? But once again, if I was younger, okay, and in the inner city, I know that I'm going to be over police. I know we're going to be over police. So, and you know, I understand that, and a lot of people don't understand that. I have the luxury of knowing it from both
May I ask a
ends.
question?
I land.
Because I've heard
Nah, bro, this wasn't about race, bro. This was about the
It
dad.
was
You know,
too. The whole
I've heard a
conversation
lot of
shifted
people
how the
talk.
bro.
black community has
No,
Negative.
Scott.
self-organized.
Bro, when we were talking this whole time, when we've been talking about
Go to a
what
trailer
police
park, man. They
have
have the same experience in a
done.
trailer park.
Yeah, bro. I even brought
I've
up the
just never
case
had
of
any of my trailer park
Scott.
friends
Hold on, bro.
say
Because
that.
no, you just said it's been about race the whole time when it's actually not. I even brought up the case about the white cop who did it to every single person. He didn't care if they were white, black, brown, young, or old. We were strictly talking about something that cops do. We were talking about
Marty, I think
I,
you're in the Matrix.
See,
all right.
I don't care about y'all. Y'all want to kowtow and play the race line. First of all, black communities are overly policed, and it does happen more times in black communities. So I don't care what y'all saying about y'all want to toe the line and act like it doesn't happen more. But anyway, long story short, right? Whatever that man seen in that video, he was incensed by, and he went and committed this situation. He should be treated
the
like
guy.
he had temporary insanity. His the kid's aunt also said the same thing. She said her soul left her body when she saw that video. Do you think she would have said that if the kid pointed a gun at the police?
Quick question. I need to get some clarification because I hear a lot of people saying he killed the cop, but the only thing that I read report said he got in an accident, and it didn't say anything like that. Is he being charged with murder? Is there something that came out that he say he did it deliberately? How did they come to that conclusion? Does anybody know?
Yes, he's being charged with murder.
So they said he did it
Yes.
deliberately.
I have
He did.
a video really quick if you guys want to see it. You guys want me to play? It's about 2.5
I don't know
minutes.
if we can see it, but I'd love to hear it.
What's the
Yeah,
Is it
relevance
is
of
it
the
Show
video?
that.
is it a video of what happened, Diana?
Yeah, and it's with some
Yeah,
commentary too. Okay, hold on a second.
And
yeah.
If
who's
you
it
guys,
from?
it's from, I don't know, some local channel over there, Channel 5. I'm gonna play it in 1 minute. If you guys want to drop down, we'll bring you back up. And Clubhouse, you'll be able to hear it. You might not be able to see it, but you'll be able to hear it.
Are you
All
on
right, here
another
we go.
medium?
What happened?
Are you on another medium as well where you're watching it?
We are. You've got some wonderful moderators over there that can put some invites in the chat and have you guys come over to chatter and hang out with us over here. And I'm going to play it now.
Says Hinton was charged with aggravated murder, for the
Camera
record.
video of the moments that led to an officer involved shooting and killing of a suspect in East Price Hill.
And WLWT News 5's Danielle Dindak has been leading the way on this investigation for us. She's live right now, walking us through the video. Hi, Danielle.
Hi there, Mike. This video is very fast. We're talking about 6 seconds. 6 seconds from the time that officer got out of his vehicle and fired those shots. I do want to warn you, what you're about to watch could be hard to see.
He's got a gun. He's got a gun on your right. On your right.
In a matter of seconds, it all began with a stolen vehicle, a Kia from Edgewood, Kentucky. GPS tracking led the investigation here, a condo complex in East Price Hill. Officers arrived, and Chief Terry Thiegy explains what happened next.
All four individuals get out and start running.
On your right. On your right.
Some in different directions. So officers decide which individual they're going to pursue. One officer decides to pursue the individual who we now know had a firearm in his hand.
At some point, the person with the gun slips.
They heard the metal from the firearm hit the concrete. This individual gets up, still has the firearm in his hand, and continues to run through the dumpster.
The officer who fired the shots was chasing another suspect before he made contact with the armed suspect.
The officer who did discharge his firearm said that when the individual came out between the dumpsters, he had the firearm in front of him. It was in like a bladed position, and it was pointed at the officer. And he felt threatened for his life, and that's why he discharged his firearm.
4 to 5 rounds were fired. The suspect was hit twice, given medical care right away, and died. The AG says this is the gun the suspect had, a semi-automatic with an extended magazine, with another magazine in his pocket.
Let me be very direct. We cannot allow individuals to flee from officers with a loaded firearm aimed at them. When this happens, the outcome is almost always tragic.
Police also told us that a stolen gun was found inside that stolen Kia. At this time, we still do not have the identity of the person who was shot and killed. All police could tell us is that he was approximately 18 years old. Reporting live in East Price Hill tonight, Danielle Dindak, WLWT News 5.
Right. Come on.
So
Clearly.
you saying in
That was
that video where they
100%
paused,
justified.
that shot where they
Right.
paused, that kid was pointing towards the police?
He
Bro,
had the
listen, bro.
chance to
This is a
drop the
classic.
gun and it
Right?
hit the
Like, what are we
ground.
talking
Right.
about?
Listen, I think the trauma that black people suffer just from seeing and being done wrong in their minds, as far as when things happen, when shit is wrong, they can't even see it. Like I'm a black man. I understand.
Bro,
I
you
have an
talking
18-year-old.
bullshit
Wait,
right
wait, wait.
now. We
Let
Hold
just
them.
saw the
on, wait.
video.
Let him
Hold
finish.
Wow.
on.
Hold
I
on,
got
we
an
just saw the
18-year-old
video.
son.
To
The
God,
guy
he's
wasn't
on
even in the,
Clubhouse.
he
Let
wasn't
him
even pointing the
To
same
God, let
Listen,
direction.
them
let
land.
him
To God.
finish.
Hold on for a
You
second. The
might
guy
agree
is
with
on
him.
Clubhouse, first of all. He did not see the video.
Who
no, I've
cares?
seen
To
that
God.
video,
He's
bro.
maybe seen it before
Like,
this.
I seen it before.
If
Like,
he's
I
in a
seen the
public
video.
viewing for
What
it.
I'm
Go
saying
The
is
ahead,
kid
this.
was
Kevin.
not even pointing in
Listen
the
to me,
same
bro.
God,
direction
I
as
please
have
the
let
a
him
police
talk.
But
officer.
let them
He's running
land.
away.
To
Let them
God.
land.
It's called debate the news. Let him
I have an
present his
Yeah,
18
not
year
point.
old.
debating. And
Listen
I'm
to me,
telling you, the kid wasn't
bro.
Let him
facing
Listen
the
to me,
finish,
bro.
police.
man.
Oh
Let him
Get
God.
out your
finish. Let him
goddamn
finish.
feelings. I am a grown ass 40-year-old man with an 18-year-old son that's in college. If my 18-year-old son is in a fucking stolen car with his friends with a fucking gun he's not supposed to have, and he do something and get himself killed, that's on him. I'm not going to be no fucking vigilante and kill somebody who ain't had shit to do with it. I ain't even finna go. I'm not even finna go at the cop because nigga, you ain't supposed to be there. So when you
Yeah,
motherfuckers
well,
come
Please,
one
please
mic,
watch
stand,
your
one
hold
mic,
on,
language,
hold
sir.
on.
mute
Don't
up, mute up,
interrupt
mute up,
me,
mute up,
bro.
mute up, mute
Don't
up, mute up,
interrupt me,
mute up,
bro.
mute up,
Don't
mute up.
interrupt me.
Yo,
Don't
And
yeah,
let
interrupt
him
I
me,
am
bro.
talk. He's
interrupting you.
talking
Just
shit.
Yo,
tell him no N
mute the
words.
fuck up. Mute the fuck up. Who the fuck are you to tell me don't mute you? Don't come on our fucking stage using the N word. All right? Fucking probably had experience with your kid doing some dumb shit like that. Okay? That's what the fuck you
I
probably
ain't never had no
raised.
shit like that. My bad though.
Okay, don't come on our fucking stage using the N word
Bro,
and
I
talking
said
like a
my
fucking.
bad, bro. Get out your feelings, bro.
I'm not in my feelings,
I
okay?
said my bad.
Fuck out of here. Go ahead. Go
Listen,
ahead.
in that video that we
Did you
just
kick
saw,
No,
him
no,
from
right?
no,
us?
To
no. Let him go
God.
ahead. Let him go ahead, God. Let him go ahead. Go ahead.
All
Finish
right.
up your.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
Jonathan.
Clubhouse.
Yeah, Jonathan. It's ink. Hey, look though, but what I was saying though, big dog, was this. Um, the idea that we as adults can't see when things are wrong and we failed our children as parents. Because I'd be goddamn if my son goes out doing some shit like that, hanging out with people, sitting in stolen cars. That's on his dad, and his dad is a crash out, and his daddy crashed out, and now you guys are trying to champion him as if he's a hero for doing the dumb shit that he did that was not justified, killing another man who's taking care of his family, doing his damn job, and you run this man over and kill him for for no reason, and then y'all champion that shit on. Like, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself as fucking adults, bro.
Where the fuck
I
did you
agree.
hear anybody champion this man as he's some type of hero?
Maybe there's some other people. All right.
No, Dan, hold up. Nobody on this stage has championed this man as some type of hero, right? My only defense of this man is that he may have been, having a mental health breakdown. And that's why he did what he did.
Because his son was in the
And you
wrong.
cannot say,
Because his son was in the
without
wrong.
seeing that video and being in that man's situation, what you would
Because his
have
son
done.
in the wrong.
It
It
doesn't
does
matter.
matter. That's what matters
Whatever he
mostly.
saw, it
That's
caused
all
him to
that
have a
Matters
mental
matters.
health
mostly.
breakdown, and he did
That's
what he
what
did.
matters mostly.
Can I?
That's your
When someone's
problem.
in the
You're
wrong,
so
they get
emotional,
punished. They
you
have to
can't
deal
think
with the
logically.
consequences of being wrong.
You're so emotional, you can't think with logic. Therefore, you say it doesn't matter if he's wrong or not. And that's what matters exactly the
How am
most.
I not thinking with logic? You the
Can,
one on the stage running
Goofy.
you running your mouth, talk about the N word and all this
Bro,
stupid
that was an
shit.
accident. I just talk like that,
can I say
homie.
something here? Let me show you a point where the God I see where the God is coming from. And I understand where you're coming from.
Zion, be hold on, Zion, before you go, man, because you usually go down a different
It's
path.
never good
Some
if John
yeah,
agrees with you.
yeah, some exotic path or some shit. Ink. First of all, I didn't know that too. Secondly, um, I don't see this guy as a hero. I think the guy needs to go to fucking prison and be punished. And I think if the and I don't think he should get a death penalty because there
Straight
may
to fucking prison.
yeah there may be some mental whatever. I'll give some credibility to that, but he definitely needs to go to prison. Okay, because you can't have people killing police officers like that. Okay, so I agree with you 100%. The video doesn't impress me because it's too blurry. You don't see if it's a weapon, and I don't hear the metal from the gun. I don't see any of that. Okay, I would love, 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 love to have them enhance that, and then we can have that conversation. That's all I got to say in that land.
You're gonna
Hey,
die on that horn.
just got back. I got out of the matrix. I just wanted to tell the God. I think I missed that portion, but the God, I know when you're saying the moment he came out of watching the videos when he snapped this, that, and the third, and something from that video of him seeing his son get killed, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. He could have, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but as a parent, you could have seen your child with a gun in their hand, but watching your own child get gunned down, I'm sorry, but I don't know a parent who's going to walk out of that room and not be distraught and not feel absolutely like shit, ready to absolutely destroy every police department. You understand what I'm saying? Once again, I'm not saying I didn't see the video yet. I know you guys probably just watched it. I haven't watched it, but my point is, when you come out of watching your own child get gunned down, whether he was in the wrong or not, I don't know any parents who are just gonna be okay with watching that and not freaking lose their shit. And so, where I agree with JB on send his ass straight to jail, bro, you fucking mowed down a cop who had absolutely nothing to do with that. The man is retired, volunteering to do some work for the community, and you mow his ass down because you so angry. And for that right there, nah, bro, you gotta pay, man. You gonna pay for that shit. Absolutely gonna pay for that shit. Sorry for your son. You know what I'm saying? The whole nine. And JB, I heard you say earlier, if he would have mowed down the cop who shot his son, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, yeah. Nah, even if that, like, man, look. Nah, he ain't no hero for going to mow down some random cop who ain't have shit to do with that.
Getting back to this shooting, this is where I am. The guy from the Clubhouse Inc. I'm sorry, but the kind of approach that you have on this issue, if you continue like that, I don't think anybody is safe. Okay, and this is why some of these cops, they single out who they shoot at random and who they shoot with temperance. Here we are in a country where people are fighting against gun control with every strength in their blood. Okay, they don't want any form of gun control. They don't want any form of gun regulation. They want people to buy a gun without background check, without anything. And here you have a young black boy running out of a stolen car, running sideways. Saw a gun. Okay, give it to you. But he was running sideways, running away, not towards you. Just because you saw the gun and you shot him. I mean, I don't see how that makes any sense. If you feel that you have a policy where anybody could have a gun, anybody could own a gun, it's your right to own a gun, okay? And you see somebody with a gun and you shoot him. Make that make sense if you're alive.
Obviously, you don't know the
It was a
laws in this
stolen
country.
gun.
Wait, obviously
Hold
you
on,
don't know the
hold
laws
on.
in this
So
country.
it had
This is
a sign
starting.
that
He
said
doesn't know.
stolen gun on it.
Let me finish.
You're 18, you cannot
Let me
have a
finish.
pistol.
Time he
Gun,
start, he
period.
didn't know
Whether it
if
was
it was.
stolen or not, you don't use that on a
Can I
clock. What?
finish?
Where's the common sense
Can
in
I
that? I'm
18
sorry.
year
finish?
olds
I'm
cannot
sorry.
have
Can I
handguns.
finish? Let me finish. Time the cop shot the guy, he was running away, and the cop didn't know if the gun was stolen or not. Okay, the cop's life was not threatened in any way.
Oh
The
my
guy
God.
was running away sideways,
That's
and he
Are you
shot him.
saying
crazy.
that he
That
saw the
doesn't
gun?
make sense. Whether
In
he
the
saw the
scenario
gun or
you're
didn't
giving,
see
Sir
the gun,
Jude,
that's
I'm
irrelevant.
just no, hold on. In the scenario you're giving, are you saying that the cop saw the gun? Yes or no?
I give it to you. He saw the gun. Now what? The guy was running away with the gun in his hand.
Okay, I'm glad you gave it to me just that way because, and this isn't no defense to the story or
Hey,
anything,
Marty,
but there
one
was
second, Marty, one second. Hold that thought. Hey guys, real quick, guys. You're listening to Debate the News, the podcast, the bonus episode. We're going to bonus episode 2 right now, and so that means that if you're listening to us at home, there will be another episode coming out later on today. It's bonus part 2. Make sure you guys come back and look for that. We're going to continue to talk the conversation about Rodney Hinton. So. Guys, if you're on CHCH, you're gonna do a hard reset. What does that mean? That means you're gonna find yourself in the hallway, okay, for about 5 seconds, and then you guys will see the room reappear in the hallway. Also, what I would like to say is, um, yeah, guys, if you guys are in the room, download some episodes download some episodes. Last night was a really great episode, and we were speaking about the woman that received over $600,000. I believe was that last night. Six
Mm-hmm.
hundred thousand.
Yes.
Yeah, $600,000. No, that was the night before last, wasn't
No, that
it?
was yesterday, wasn't it?
Well, no, it was
It
so.
was
That was
the night before
The
last.
night
It was the night
before.
before last.
yeah. We spoke about
Oh,
something
my
last.
bad.
Guys, they're good episodes. They're good episodes. So go ahead. But once again, we tackle everything here at Debate the News. So, CH, you guys are going to find yourselves in the hallway for about 5 seconds. Okay, less than 5 seconds, and the room's going to be open. So I want you guys to, let's see here. I want to make sure that you guys see that because I don't want to do this to you guys without having your room open in 5 seconds. But I want to make sure you guys, yeah, I'm gonna have to change that. Give me one moment here. I'm gonna go ahead and change that time. Yeah, the guys were like, "Yo, we can't find a room," but I'm gonna change that right now so you guys will be able to find that. All right, so CH, you guys will be back live in 5 seconds. So we're gonna go ahead and do that real quick for you guys right now, and we're gonna, if you're listening to the podcast and you want to hear the next episode, it'll be out later on today. So with that being said, CH, you are out.